You have thousands of pores on your face. But why do only some of them become acne? This is one of the most interesting and compelling questions in acne biology, and it tells us why acne is not just about dirty skin, poor hygiene, or bacteria. A pore becomes acne-prone when the environment inside that follicle changes. Think of each pore as a tiny biological unit. It has an oil gland, cells lining the follicle, bacteria, immune activity, and signals from hormones and inflammation. With all of that, most pores stay normal, but in certain ones, the balance shifts. One early step is that the skin cells inside the follicle do not shed properly, and instead of flowing out smoothly, they become sticky and stuck, collecting inside the follicle. Oil mixes with these cells, the opening begins to narrow further and further, and a microcomedone starts to form. This is the invisible beginning of many acne lesions, and you may not see it yet, but biologically, the process has started. Now add the oil gland. The oil glands are often more active in acne. And it's not just the amount of oil that matters, it's also the quality of the oil, also called sebum, that matters. Sebum can influence the environment inside the pore. It can be pro-inflammatory, that is, lead to more inflammation, and it can affect how bacteria behave to encourage further bacterial proliferation. And it can affect whether the follicle itself becomes acne-prone. So acne is not simply too much oil. It's also an altered follicular environment. Now let's talk about the bacteria. These are called Cutibacterium acnes, or short-formed C. acnes. Here's the key point. C. acnes is not automatically bad. There are some types or strains of C. acnes that are pro-inflammatory, others that are neutral, and yet others that are anti-inflammatory. Many people have C. acnes on their skin without much acne. And the problem is not just that the bacteria are present. The problem is how the bacteria interact with oil, the follicles, and the immune system. In some follicles, that interaction becomes pro-inflammatory, and that leads to red bumps, pimples, pustules, deeper lumps, nodules, and scarring. So why does one pore become acne while another does not? Because the acne-prone pore has a different local environment. It may have more plugging, more oil gland activity, different sebum composition, which is pro-inflammatory, more inflammatory signaling because of all of that, and a different bacterial host interaction based on natural selection for those pro-inflammatory strains of C. acnes. That's why acne can appear in different clusters on the forehead or cheeks or chin, on the torso, and that's why treating acne requires more than simply surface treatments like washing the skin. That's also why harsh scrubbing often fails. You can't scrub away the biology inside the follicle, which is below the surface of the skin. A better approach is to treat the underlying process, normalize the shedding inside the follicle, reduce inflammation, reduce acne-promoting follicular conditions, protect the skin barrier, and use treatments consistently enough to work, minimum 2 to 3 months. In the next video, I will explain one of the most common mistakes people make when acne is not improving. They keep adding products when they should be actually simplifying and rationalizing the plan. Follow along if you want any acne education that goes deeper than skincare trends.